All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a screen replacement video for an HP gaming laptop Pavilion, and it's the 16-A, a bunch of numbers and letters, and I'll put that in the description. I bought a replacement screen off of Alibaba, and it turns out that it's actually the right thing, I think. So that's pretty cool. Usually the slow boat from China doesn't make it this early. It's like a whole month early. And I got some super thin 2mm clear double-sided tape. And here we go. Okay, so first thing I had to do was I actually went out and found a deconstruction or a teardown video that is HP sponsored, and it's a very good video. So I'll put a link to that. But you have to take the bezel off. Now, I did it with a butter knife, which you shouldn't do. You should use a spudger probably. And as you can see, I cracked off a little piece right there. And once you get down in here, it starts to get really hard to do, but I was able to get it underneath and kind of pop it up and remove it. So that whole bezel comes up and off, and you can see all the little plastic teeth pieces once you get that off. You'll also see some double-sided tape down the left and the right sides. So I'll either pick that off or replace little sections that are missing. It's still tacky, so I might just put tape in between the parts that came off. Okay, then your screen looks like this. Now, in the video, they show someone taking tweezers and pulling the stretch tape from behind the right side and the left side. I used, it's a little tool for sewing to cut the threads, and I used that little thin thing like a needle to get down underneath the tape and pull it out, grab it with the tweezers, and then start twisting the tweezers. Now, I only twisted a couple times because if you keep going, it takes forever. Get your laptop over here at like the edge of the counter and just pull it straight down that way so that you're pulling at the same angle as the screen, but what you're really doing is pulling down off the table that way. And you just keep pulling and pulling and pulling, and it's about 2 or 3 feet long that you're going to be pulling before it finally comes out. But if you sit there and twist and turn the tweezers, it's going to take you forever. Okay, once you get both of those sides off, oh, another problem if you sit there and do the twisting besides taking forever, now your tweezers are all wrapped up with that stuff and you got to sit there and yank it off and pull it off because it's still sticky. Okay, once that happens, then the screen can actually come out. Okay, let me pause the video for a second and then grab it and then show you. Okay, I realized before pulling it off that I haven't shown anyone what the screen looks like. So I just turned it on. This is what it looks like. So you can see the crack and the spider webs and all the lines. This is what happened to this computer when it got bumped up against the corner of a table by accident. Okay, now it's turned off. I can take the screen off. As I tilt it forward here, you can see what's going on. There's the connection point, and there's everything behind it. The hinges, no more tape anymore, no more stickiness, all the data cables and stuff for the webcam. So, watch the video that's the HP teardown video, and you'll see that you just kind of lift up this tape. Notice that on one side I accidentally got the tape off the adhesive, so I had to go to the other side to get it, because I want to keep that adhesive. And once you get to this point, it kind of just slides out and backwards. Slides out just ever so gently that way. There we go. And now you can take the old screen off, dispose of it properly with your local authorities, and then put the new one in. Okay, the new one came very well packaged, as you can see. Plenty of bubble wrap. So I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to actually put this double-sided tape along the edges, because I think that'll be easier to put it there, and then put the screen inside the computer, rather than trying to tape that and then put this in. Okay, now I have run double-sided tape down both ends, or both sides, excuse me. Notice I left a lot at the bottom. I'm hoping that when I put it in there, I'll see how much left is extra, and then I'll snip it off, but I'll leave enough. So if this screen ever gets broken, I'll be able to use the little needle tool and fish that out and pull it out. Okay, so now I'm going to use this little tool to pick off the backing and then take that down and place it inside. But first, I'm going to get it in place and plug it in. All right, it's a little bit tricky to do, but let's see if I can get this done one-handed. So maneuver it into place, get this all lined up, kind of fold it down a little bit and pull it into place until you feel that little click. There we go. And now you can just lay the tape down, smooth it out, and it's right back in place. Now, before removing the surface of the tape and actually taping it into place, I went ahead and laid it in there to make sure it fits and plugged it in and turned it on to make sure the screen's on. So it works. I fixed it. Okay, turned it off. I'm going to lay it back down, deal with the tape, and then put it back in place and gently press along the edges just to get that nice and sealed. And then I'll worry about the screen protector. Okay, little bits of extra tape, so I'm going to go ahead and chop it right there above the little plastic snap so that the plastic snaps will still snap in place. And then I should be able to remove the screen protector, as my daughter likes to say, so satisfying. Oh yeah, that felt good. Okay, I think I have everything in place. Now, obviously one way to check is you hear all the snaps as you go around, but you can also come and look at the edges to make sure everything's nice and snug. Now that snapped one, that was either me taking the bezel off, or I think it was actually when my son dropped it and broke the screen originally. Another thing you can do is close it, flip it over, and look at that edge right along there. You can kind of see a little mark where I had pried on it, and that little edge right there, that's actually together. So there's a little bit of kind of leftover look to it, but you don't notice it. It's not too bad. And then last thing to do, of course, is always to turn it on, check and make sure it works. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Now you know how to replace the screen. You should have the link for not only where I bought this, because it was a great deal and it shipped faster, like a month faster than I expected. Obviously, not every case is going to be like that, but that was impressive. Don't forget to get yourself some thin double-sided tape to hold everything in place. And then you're going to want to watch the HP teardown video. And as always, I would recommend watch it and watch the teardown and put back together before you even start touching things and pulling on things. All right, good luck, persevere, and have a growth mindset.